During physical exercises, the manipulation of variables such as series, repetitions, and time interval between exercises are rather common. Despite the existence of studies that prove the results achieved out of each type of training, the movement speed is barely mentioned, or controlled, and the lack of control may interfere in the muscular recruitment pattern. In order to fill up this gap, we have constructed a muscle monitoring device, named Muscle Quality Exercise, MOOC, for speed of movement tracking during physical exercises. The device, light, portable, and microcontroller-based, exploits the concept of surface electromyography to detect the muscle activity and deliver basic statistic features about exercise, available by means of a simple mobile interface, which processes the data collected from the muscle and displays the user's performance. From the muscle to the mobile, the EMG signal data passes through 3 phases.
The first phase happens at the sensor circuit, which is compounded by 4 stages. The first stage comprises an instrumentation amplifier. This provides a first signal conditioning by means of a gain, and from it, the raw EMG signal is obtained. The second stage is compounded of a high-pass filter with a 106 Hz cutoff frequency in series with a full-wave rectifier. The use of this filter is due to the need for removal of low-frequency noise components such as the instrumentation amplifier DC offset, variations of the sensor on the skin, and temperature fluctuations. The rectified signal is then passed through an envelope detector, third stage of the sensor circuit, to provide a signal easier to be interpreted and digitally processed. Lastly, another gain is used to adjust the signal amplitude to the maximum acceptable input voltage level of the subsequent component. The second phase is the data acquisition transmission. An Arduino Uno acquires the signal and a Bluetooth module performs the communication with a mobile. When a NAS character is received by the Arduino, it starts the EMG signal acquisition via the analog to digital converter and sends data to the mobile. If a D is received, 2 muscles are monitored simultaneously. For both cases, the acquisition finishes as soon as the Arduino receives a need character. The third phase, data processing and user interface, takes place at the mobile. We have first developed the processing code in the programming language MATLAB. Since the target device was an Android mobile running on JavaScript language, we have used the MATLAB automatic conversion tool to have the processing in C language, and then use the framework Cordova, which provides a cross-platform for mobiles and computers, to convert the code to JavaScript. The signal processing happens as follows. The EMG signal received from the microcontroller passes through a moving average filter. The frequency is higher than the desired exercise frequency or attenuated, so that the resulting signal is moved and presents lobes that clearly represent evolution of the movements with time. Afterwards, the beginning and the end of each contraction are identified. For this purpose, a new moving average is applied, this time by using a filter with cutoff frequency close to that of the movement, so that we have the DC value within the window covered by the moving average filter. Hence, we have a variable amplitude threshold, which further grants to the system an auto-calibration characteristic. The points of intersection between the 2 curves are then used as bound references for each contraction along the exercise. Finally, the moments when the muscle is contracted along the exercise are approximated as the time instants at which the maximum amplitude values are recorded within each contraction interval. These instants are then stored in a vector and rendered available for statistics computations. The mobile application provides a responsive and friendly human-machine interface where the EMG signal acquisition is shown to the user in real time. Once the user has finished the exercise, it's possible to get the post-processing results, namely, the speed average of the contractions, the standard deviation of the time between contractions, a graph of the instants where the peaks are detected, and another graph with the intervals between contractions along with the average interval.
MOOC could provide basic but relevant statistical information for any user who wants to keep better control of one's exercises. The components used in MOOC are quite simple and relatively not expensive, so that a real product should be affordable for most people. The device is auto-calibrated, and the use of a mobile through Bluetooth connection would make its application even more flexible and simple. Devices for such purpose are already available in the market, but the low cost and simplicity of our device should render it easier for the society in general to have access to this type of information. The physical education area has been used as an example of the application. However, with some adaptations, other possibilities may be thought of in the health area, for instance, in physical therapy, for recovery of movements after neurological incidents that affect the control of human motor activities, or medicine, for monitoring of contractions in pregnant women about to give birth. In short, it's health-related information accessible to everyone.